avid reader. Do you know what that means? I'm an avid reader.
Avid notes?
Anybody know?
You're really good at it.
Well, I hope I'm good at it. An avid reader, I do it a lot and I love it. Okay. And at home, I have a lot of books. But I have so many books that my husband said, you better go to the library now because you know what? We don't have any places for books anymore. So that's what I do because I love reading so much and I love to go and pick up books at the library. But does anyone know how I might go about picking out books rather than just going to the library, which is a great thing, and looking at books in the library, how I might get some ideas about books I might like to read?
If you're wondering about something, like, you could go look if there's a book based on it.
Yes, and I do that all the time. What would be another way I could find out about books to read?
Sometimes, at libraries there's computers and you can look up a book.
I'd have to kind of know the title first, unless I had a book about an idea that I wanted to learn more about, right?
Yeah, like there's just stories of it, and sometimes on the back there's more books.
But yes.
And if you're looking for a specific book, you can ask the librarian.
Yes, and I do get recommendations from librarians, and I also have a favorite bookstore in my city that I live, and they know me because I'm in there a lot. And they'll say, my first name's Kathy, and I'll walk in and they'll say, Kathy, we have a new book. In fact, one of those I have with me that I'm going to share in just a little bit. But boys and girls, you know where I get most of my ideas for the books that I want to read?
Library.
From friends that tell me about books that they're reading. I have a lot of friends that are readers, and they say, oh, you're just going to love this book. And today, I'm going to share with you a couple of those book recommendations I have for you. Books that maybe you might want to read that you never had heard of before. But I also have 3 little grandchildren, and one of them is in 3rd grade. Will, the oldest, is 8 years old, like many of you are, and he has given me book recommendations, so I'm going to share that today. And by getting a book recommendation, you know what? I find out new books that I can learn from, like you were talking about, honey, and I find out books that make me laugh. And sometimes, you know why I like to read? I don't know, so once in a while I kind of get down in the dumps, maybe I had a bad day, and if I pick up a book, it makes all those bad things in my mind go away, because the book gets me going on new characters and new ideas that I can learn from, or it's making me laugh, and I completely forget about my troubles. So I read for a lot of different reasons. But the first one I want to share with you is when I was your age, I used to watch television, and what was on TV a lot were TV shows about cowboys, like out in the Wild West where they rode horses and they rounded up cattle and they were rough and tough cowboys. That was on a lot. And so this book that was written not that long ago became one of my favorites because it makes me laugh and it makes me remember the TV shows that I used to watch. And it's called The Toughest Cowboy by John Frank and illustrated by Zachary Pullen. And the reason I like this book is, like I said, because it makes me laugh, but the illustrations are amazing. So this is a book, Grizz Brickbottom, who's the toughest cowboy, and he herds and cattle, and he hangs out with other tough cowboys that don't have very good manners. In fact, some of the manners are a little gross. What they do is they pick their teeth, pick their nose, they do other kinds of gross things, okay? But Grizz Brickbottom, you know, he's herding cattle with these rough and tough cowboys, and one day, they were sitting around the campfire here, and one of the cowboys is playing the guitar. They're singing some songs, and as he listened and watched, he said, the other cowboys wiping their mouths on their sleeves, digging at their teeth with their fingernails, he began to realize something was missing in his life. He needed another kind of companionship, someone with silky hair, someone with a lovely smell,
someone who would give him lots of kisses. He needed, maybe I feel what he needed.
A girlfriend.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what he needed, and then the rest of the story is about what you would not have predicted.
A rat or
A dog.
What?
But
Oh,
the kind of dog this toughest cowboy gets, and what happens is really funny.
Wait.
So you might want to see if your library has this book, if you might want to find out what this rough and tough cowboys with those bad manners and what kind of a dog he
The
picks. and what
dog might
happens.
be to her the sheep.